The ZARVA MV207 series PMP MP4 audio device is a very interesting take on an MP4 device. It actually plays games, has an integrated control set, and also has expandable memory on board. It's a really small and tight package, and it's really well constructed. It's made out of the metal chisels and also has a solid classy black on the back on the front. It tracks a little bit of fingerprints, but for the most part, it's really good. It feels really solid in the hand. It also has an extended display in horizontal view. It's pretty large, and it also has a control set that makes sense, from volume controls to skip track and A/B controls, especially in gameplay, and these controls really come into existence there. Taking a look at the hardware, we also have other controls, like on the bottom, a SD card slot for expanding the memory of this device. On board, though, you will find that it already has 1 gig of, or 2 gigs, 1 gig or 2 gigs, you get a pick of memory, and you can also expand that via this slot and for games and other support. Very great on the back. On the top, we also have an on-off switch and a 3.5mm jack. You can see we're charging it right now. It charges via a mini USB port. Now, ironically, we are charging this because we haven't used this in weeks, but we decided to give you our full video review right now. The battery life on this is really, really great. I know it's very ironic that we're charging it right now, but upon a full charge, you can use this for weeks and weeks and weeks. And for a full video player that has a great, huge display, it's really great for that kind of functionality. So you're going to get a lot of features for your money here. You have a music player that is dedicated for, of course, you can put music files and of the sort. To press OK, you actually press on the top, and it labels it, actually really easy to see. It's OK, or power holding it turns it on or off. Pressing it, tapping it once is the OK button. So you can skip through your tracks and to your music, and there is built-in stereo speakers on both the left-hand side and the right-hand side of the product. So that's great. You can listen it to that way. The speakers are a little bit tinny, as you might expect, but they are pretty loud and pretty decent for a built-in device, or you can just plug in headphones and sound quality is excellent. There's also EQ settings. To go out of a menu, you just press B and you got our exited out. In this case, there's some more features like repeat, equalizer, and 3D. Press it again. Or is it A? Right now we're playing music and singing. And if we press it again, we can pause it. Pressing B takes you home. We also have a moving up and down actually corresponds to the carousel view, so we can go next, and this becomes a voice recorder. The voice recorder has the microphone centered. Can I find it right now? There's a reset hole on the other side. The microphone might be built in on this model. We'll have to find it later. It's not directly visible on the hardware that we covered. The voice recording is pretty good. It's easy to record your voice and find it in the music, and you can play it back. Unfortunately, it's not the highest sounding quality, but it's great for voice memos. We also have a photo viewer. It really takes advantage of the full screen. Again, it takes a few seconds to load. Maybe it has something to do with the processor, but overall, it's great. There's also a file manager. There's also video support, so if you want to watch a few videos, you can. Now, as you can see on the ads, the quality actually looks superbly excellent. The backlight is actually really good. It might be something to do with the fact we still have this cover on. But if we press A, we can extend this, hopefully, to full screen mode. No, we cannot. Pressing A takes you to the full screen mode. And we can turn down the memory. And we can show you a quick trailer of this movie. But as you can see, video playback was actually not as great as we expected. Although video files and file support was excellent. As you can see, color saturation is good. It's really watchable in on trains and cars at home. But it's a little bit pixelated, and maybe it has something to do with the file that we tested, but the screen doesn't seem to be the sharpest. If it is, it also has a little bit of stuttering, which shows that the processor, once again, isn't up to text for the most high-resolution pixels. So when you're in kind of this quiet medium of being still fairly high-resolution, just not the highest, it seems to play fine, and sound quality is great, and you can watch this movie. You can pause it by pressing the OK button, and then pressing B takes you home, and takes you home yet again. Now the last feature I want to show you, or the last two, is the ebook reader. Now, the ebook reader feature, we've said that it doesn't make sense on a lot of MP4 players with just tiny screens. This one actually fairly makes sense, and the reason we say that is because it's multilingual support. We can read Chinese text. This is not the correctly formatted one. Has to go into File Manager. We'll show you in a second, but as you can see, it shows Chinese text, which means that you can read Chinese books, and the screen is actually, I think, good enough to read a few simple ebooks. It's also great for memos, of course, but at this size, it's really suitable for that kind of thing. And it can also read English, of course, ebooks fine, so you might not be doing a long time reading, but the backlight is great for night reading on planes, and it's also great for simple text, so it's something that actually makes sense on a larger display, such as this. Finally, the last game, the fast feature is games. Now, the games, there's a lot of built-in Java and Flash games. You can also download these. Any Java and any Flash game will work. Just put it in your SD card, plug into your computer, and you are ready to go. It's preloaded with a few things like Steel Ball, which is basically some versions. There's Dragon. You can kind of see this screen pics, and you can kind of get a feeling. Playing these games actually are a pretty cool experience. It feels like playing it on a Game Boy, and all the buttons are really responsive for this. Are tactile, risen up the surface. I can fly up and down, and I can dodge it, and this is my shooting mode, I guess. Pressing A shoots. Oh, great. I don't want to be hit by that, and I want to shoot this, and that's basically it. And I can exit this game by pressing exit. So just remember the top is the OK button, and you'll be fine with that. There is also Magic Juju. There's Hearts. There's Bomb Boat. There's Bomb Boy or Bomber Girl. These are the classic versions, and we really like this integration. It's a great game. And we select a character. And you are right here on the top, and what you do is you leave a bomb. Oops. And you press A to leave the bomb, and then you run away, because I left the bomb there, and it just blew up. And you try to kill off all the characters within your time limit and find the exit and escape this complicated maze, and not let the monsters kind of like in Pac-Man get to you. So pressing OK, and I'm going to exit this game, and we go out of that. There's also things like Dodge 'em, which is basically racing games. As you can see, we'll show you these. There's Diamond, or there's Mini Link, more heart games. There's Fossex. So as you can see, these are all full games. They work really well. Like there's also Sudoku. The interface systems are really well integrated. The Flash, the content like we're seeing here is actually what you're going to get when you actually go inside. So the games are really well supplied. You know, of course, this is entirely, you can download your own. This is very open. It's a very open platform, open system. But the ones that are provided right out of the box seem to be ones that are really workable and extremely cool. So we're really excited about that because it provides for hours of entertainment, especially with a long-lasting battery. Pressing B takes you home again. So overall, the ZARVA MV207 series is an excellent device. However, if you're purchasing this device just to watch movies, it's not the best MP device just for movie watching. But if you're listening for anything like watching, listening to tunes, looking at pics, especially for gameplay, and especially in a super slim and small package, it's a great rival to other devices out there. Great battery life, and please read the full review at osandvtxreviews.com, and thank you for watching this full video review.